Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Final Fantasy War of the Visions. We're going to be talking about Faith and Brave. We're just going to jump right in. So for those of you that don't know what Faith and Brave is, it's a very big part of the game. And it goes under the radar for a lot of people, and we should start getting invested in it right now. So what's Brave? Brave is just it's the amount it's going to increase the damage on some attacks and abilities. And the higher your Brave is, the higher the chance of you doing a physical retaliatory move, like a lot of like counterattack for monks and stuff like that. Those retaliation abilities, very high chance to activate it the higher your Brave is. How do we increase the Brave? Well, you can increase it by picking up those crystals that count down from 3, 2, 1 from the samurai ability Meditate, and from putting your guys in the barracks. That will take your ability up to 70. And I'll have examples I can show you in-game clips I'm going to show you very soon of ways you can increase your Brave. And ways your Brave is decreased is dying, and like there's certain abilities that will lower your Brave, but you don't really have to worry about that. The main thing you have to worry about is dying. So let me just show you a quick example, because I always feel like gameplay footage is the best footage. Let me show you an example here of how you can raise your Brave. And why am I talking about raising Brave too, is because this Brave that you raise is permanent increases. And I've been permanently increasing my team's Brave for a while now. And you can see that this guy's at Brave is at 57, and while someone like Zija, she's already at 92 Brave because I've been increasing their Braves over time. And I've already maxed out Monte's Brave. And so the key factor is every 4 Brave you raise your team in battle, you permanently increase their Brave by 1%. So see here, I'm using the Samurai's ability to Meditate, and these clunky controls, sorry. And when I did that, everyone's Brave went up by 4. So in battle, their in-game Brave is up by 4 from what it previously was, which means that when that battle ends, I permanently increase their Brave by 1. And that's very important, like I said, because that keeps from battle to battle. So in these early fights, look at this stone throw, by the way. That's 115 damage on a stone throw. I want to see if your Monte can do that. That's because his Brave is maxed out. Like I said, maxing your Brave will increase the damage on some abilities. And here's another example that I want to show you and how it permanently affects. So I already grabbed a crystal with this guy. Your characters start with 50 Brave and 50 Faith. And so I grabbed one crystal, and each crystal raises your Brave by 8. So here I have 58, and now I grabbed another one, so that should take me to 66. I'm just gonna go check on the stats and show you that he should be at, let's pull it up, he should have 66 Brave. Here he is. So that's a total of, his Brave went up by 16 points. So, because I made sure he collected 2 crystals. So by the end of all of this fighting and whatnot, 16, if it goes up by 16, his permanent Brave should be up by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So at the end of this battle, where he once had 50 Brave, 50 Faith, he's now going to end up with 54 Brave. And that's what you need to do, is you need to just keep gathering these crystals, or keep using Samurais to Meditate, and keep raising your Brave over time, because like I said, that's going to make sure you retaliate more, and that's going to make sure that you do more damage with some abilities. Not all abilities, only some have certain Brave aspects to it. But yeah, so definitely put your guys in the barracks. I'm going to show you an example of that, and gather those crystals or use Meditate. Look, and you can see here his Brave is at 54, and now his Brave has permanently been increased. So that's another example of doing that. Faith is kind of the same thing, except now instead of like physical stuff, we're talking about magic. Faith is the amount of damage that you dish out. So the higher Faith you have, the higher magic damage you do. But also it's how much magic damage you take in. So if you, so this is why this character is very strong, but she's very weak in the arena, because you can lower your Faith so she does no damage. It also affects the amount of healing that you dealt and receive. So if you have very high faith, you can heal people for a lot. But if they in turn also have low faith, then you're not going to heal them for as much. So to maximize healing, you want both players to have high faith. Similarly, it also goes for abilities as well. If you want to poison people, let's say you have poison arrow or poison blade, or you want to blind someone, the more faith you have, the easier it is to blind them. Same thing with the more faith they have, the easier it is to blind them. So you want to keep those in checks and balanced as well. It also increases the odds of raising dead characters. So if you have a character that died, someone with high faith has a good chance of restoring them. If they both have high faith, because it's also receiving too. The formula, I believe, is your faith plus the receiving person's faith divided by 2 times that amount, and that will be roughly the percentage of how much chance and how much the modifier is for the amount you're receiving. So high faith is good for heals. So here's how to raise and lower faith. You put them in the barracks, right? And that's a good way to lower those faiths, right? So you want these nice physical tanky characters that can be able to take magical hits. You want to put them and you want to lower their faith. The barracks will cap it to 70 brave. It will go up and lower to 30. Now, as at this point right now, faith is only being lowered, but there will be a patch in the future that will allow you to choose to raise faith instead, and that's going to be good, like I said, for your mages and your healers. You're going to want to do that. Here's just a nice little summary of everything that we talked about, maybe just a little bit more. Just also so this way I made sure I didn't miss anything. Yep. So bravery is your resilience. Higher units bravery, you can activate your reaction abilities. If it gets lower than 9, you'll turn into a chicken, but that will almost never happen unless you have a character that just keeps dying and dying, or like there's enemies doing these crazy abilities. But then you have a bigger problem because your brave is that low and it's permanently that low. So make sure that if you have someone turning into chickens often, put them into the barracks. And then faith, that's the amount of magic. We talked about that. And it's also the chance of activating reaction abilities when taking magic damage. That's important too for your faith. And then roughly 25% fluctuations in battle will be carried over. So that's basically every 4. If you increase your faith or brave by 4, that's going to be permanent by 1. So every 4 increased or decrease is a permanent increase or decrease of 1. And that's all I want to talk to you about. It's very important. Thank you for watching. Here are those tips on faith and brave that go by very quickly, that you might not get a chance to read. I know I don't, so I just took quick screenshots of them. And very important, like I said, to raise that faith and brave. Pick up those crystals. I think I missed a point. There's like brave, there's a woman, her name is Fina. She has the cheer ability for faith that raises that. So there's a person that raises brave, there's a person that raises faith, and there'll be ways to increase your faith in the barracks in the future. So anyways, if you want more content like this, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.